Dear students, in last lecture we have seen the structure of muscle and the bands or stripes, which are I bands, A band, and alternate these bands are working for the contraction and relaxation of muscles. Now in lecture series of this physiology we will start now our next lecture, which is on the physiology of digestion. So this is our unit second, digestion. Digestion means conversion of complex food material into simple food simply, and which becomes easy for absorption in the intestine. So this is the digestion. So physiology of digestion takes place mainly in alimentary canal, because in digestive system there are two main parts: alimentary canal and associated digestive glands. Alimentary canal is a tubular part of digestive system, runs from mouth to anus. The process of digestion includes mastication, then salivation, then bolus formation, swallowing, and digestion. Then after that, absorption and assimilation takes place in the lower intestine. And at last, the undigested material is ejected out or thrown out of the body through the anus. The functions of digestive system are ingestion, digestion, absorption, and defecation. So ingestion means taking in food or eating food in the body. Digestion, we have already seen, breakdown of food material means the macromolecules are broken down into micromolecules in the mouth. Then absorption means extraction of the nutrients from the food which are digested already, which are broken down already, and the digested material is absorbed by the intestinal wall. Defecation means the removal of waste material which is not digested in the body. In the digestive system, the food material which is not broken down properly, which is not assimilated, digested properly, which is not assimilated, the remaining waste material is thrown outside the body, is called as defecation. The digestive system also builds and replaces the cells and tissues that are constantly dying. The organs of alimentary canal includes mouth, esophagus, stomach, intestine, colon, rectum, and anus. As usual, the digestive system is completed along with this alimentary canal and digestive glands. So both these together forming the digestive system. Now, how the digestion takes place in the body. So digestion are of different types. Of them, two main are the mechanical and chemical digestion. In mechanical digestion means the conversion of large pieces of food material which are broken down into the smaller pieces is called as mechanical digestion. While with the help of digestive enzymes, or we can say chemical digestion, because enzymes are the chemicals which are digesting the food material, and mechanical digestion starts in mouth or buccal chamber and continues into the stomach. Means the food is churned or masticated in the mouth, saliva is mixed with the mouth and continues passes into the stomach. Then in stomach, the further process of digestion takes place. Chemical digestion means several different enzymes break down macromolecules into micromolecule, means small molecule. Macro means large molecule, and that can be more efficiently absorbed. Chemical digestion starts with saliva and continues into the intestine. So actual digestion starts from mouth to the intestine. Means in mouth the first activity of digestion is carried out. Now we will see the digestion in alimentary canal. The first of all, buccal digestion, which is takes place in mouth. In mouth, crushing and grinding of food material is carried out. With the help of teeth, a brain reflex trigger the flow of saliva from the salivary glands, which mixes with food in mouth and forms a bolus or mass. Whatever the food material is broken down into the mouth, the tongue rolls it and forms a bolus, uh, to which in Marathi we call it as a घास. आपण अन्नाचा घास तयार करतो तो तोंडामध्ये माउथ आणि टंग या दोघांच्या सहाय्याने मिक्सअप केला जातो फूडला सलायवाशी, and that is nothing but the bolus. Salivary glands are produce an estimated 3 liters of saliva per day. 3 liters of saliva which continuously drop by drop liberated from the salivary duct opening into the mouth, and digestion begins in mouth. So actual digestion is started in the mouth or alimentary canal, first part of the alimentary canal. Next, we will see the picture or the diagram in which all the digestive parts are clearly shown. In human body, the digestive system starts from mouth and buccal area, where the tongue plays the role of mixing the food and forming a round bolus that is passes into the esophagus. In between mouth and esophagus, there is a spacious chamber called as pharynx. Then this esophagus is a simple tube running from the pharynx to the stomach. Here the valve or sphincter is there. Here also a valve or sphincter is there. Two valves or sphincters are there to keep the food material in the stomach for the gastric digestive action. The food passes into the esophagus and comes to the stomach and again passes from duodenum. This is the duodenum. Second part is jejunum and third part is ileum. Duodenum plus jejunum plus ileum is equal to small intestine, whereas this is the large intestine, which comprises the ascending part of colon, descending part of colon, then transverse part of colon, appendix, which is at the junction of small and large intestine, and the posterior is the colon. Posterior is the colon, and pelvic colon, we can call it as the pelvic colon, a bulged part, and at last digestive system we see a rectum, a small globular or sac-like structure called as a rectum, and finally undigested food is passed out of this anus. So this is the whole about digestion in this alimentary canal. Along with this alimentary canal, the associated digestive glands are also present, like liver, gallbladder, pancreas, spleen, all these organs helping to digest the food material. So in stomach, the gastric juices are secreted from the wall of the stomach, and in this way the digestive actions are carried out. In intestine, some unicellular intestinal glands also take part in the digestion of food material. So this is about the digestion in mammal or human being. In buccal chamber, how the digestion is completed, what are the activities carried out in the buccal chamber. We will see, first of all, vestibule, the space or pouch between the lips and jaws called as vestibule. So this is the spacious area. In human or monkeys or apes or squirrels or rodents, we see that they can take the food material in the chamber of vestibule. Mostly we have seen that monkey takes some grains of food into the vestibule and they store it, and then later on one by one take it as a food crushing into the esophagus. In oral cavity, second is the oral cavity, the cavity enclosed by jaws known as oral cavity. In between two jaws, the cavity, which is the oral cavity. Here food is primarily break down with the help of teeth on the jaws. Oral glands. Simultaneously, when the food is stored in vestibule or oral cavity, after breakdown, the food mixes with saliva, which are secreted by the oral glands. It includes mucus, watery material, and several lingual glands. In spite of this, some salivary glands are present in mouth. In spite of these lingual glands, salivary glands also present in mouth. They mixes with food. So salivary glands are also of different types, which are present located in different parts of the buccal chamber. So first, parotid glands. It is the largest and opens from the molar tooth in the vestibule. Its secretion contains enzyme ptyalin, or we can call it as a amylase. These are the both names to the digestive enzyme or digestive juice secreted in the mouth. Second, the submaxillary gland. As the name is submaxillary, it is located in the submaxillary zone, means lies in the lower jaw and opens near the tongue. Third is sublingual gland. The lingual organ is the tongue, means naturally this is also opening at the base of or below the tongue. This gland is opening below the tongue, and its ducts are known as the duct of Ricinus. The ducts of sublingual glands are known as ducts of Ricinus or Rivinus also. The name Rivinus is also given. Next, salivary secretion. How the salivary secretion takes place. The saliva secretion is controlled by autonomic nervous system. Autonomic means the system which works in autonomic way. Therefore, the name is autonomous or autonomic nervous system is given. Means final decision of the nerve endings are taken up by these nerve endings. Salivation occurs in two ways. Saliva simply secretes, one, unconditional reflex response, and second, conditional reflex response. Unconditional reflex response means whenever the food is already in touch with the oral chamber or oral area, then and then this response takes place. Example, the food in presence of an object or food, we can say object is generally a food, or generally if you will keep just an object, even though the salivation is occurred there, and therefore the word object is used. Actually, we take the food in the mouth. Second, conditional reflex response. In this response, there is no food in the mouth, there is no touch, there is no stimuli, but the brain is stimulated, appetite by smell, sight of food, etc. We call it as a mouth watering. मराठीत सांगायचं झालं तर ही भूक असते फक्त अन्नपदार्थ बघितल्यावर लागलेली आणि तोंडाला पाणी येतं, त्या स्थितीला म्हणायचे कंडिशनड रिफ्लेक्स रिस्पॉन्स. आणि अनकंडिशनड रिफ्लेक्स रिस्पॉन्समध्ये खऱ्या अर्थाने आपण जेवण करत असतो किंवा फूड खात असतो. दिस इज द अनकंडिशनड रिफ्लेक्स रिस्पॉन्स स्टेट. So these are the two steps of salivary secretion. Next, the salivary secretion may be in the three phases. First, psychic, means in our brain, what we think about. Second is gustatory, means our tongue. And third is gastrointestinal, whenever the food is passes in the body. So in this way, three types of salivary secretion may be occur, or three phases of secretion may be occur during the whole process of feeding or food intaking. A number of adjacent acini are the basic sacs of the secretory material, salivary material, which are stored in the acini in the salivary glands. So acini join together by means of short intercalated ducts which join to form a large duct system, and this is the salivary gland system, or we can say salivary duct system, through which the saliva is secreted in the mouth and action of digestion is being carried there too. What is the saliva? Saliva is an extracellular fluid produced and secreted by salivary glands in the mouth. In humans, saliva is 99.5% water plus some electrolyte elements plus a sticky mucus, then white blood cells, then epithelial cells from which DNA can be extracted, then enzymes such as amylase and lipase. So these are the both enzymes which digest glucose and liquid material. So they are also present in saliva, but in some instance, means in only 5%, then antimicrobial agents are also present in saliva, such as secretory IgA. It means immunoglobulin A. and lysozymes. Lysozymes are the small suicide bags which directly pour their itself them into the food particle and digest them. So these are the lysozymes, not lysosomes. Lysosomes are the cell organelles and lysozymes are the enzymatic particles which digest the food particles in the mouth. Next, the enzymes found in saliva are essential in beginning the process of digestion of dietary starches and fats. In food material, whatever the food material is taken up by the mammals or human being, mainly includes starch and fats. And these enzymes also play a role in breaking down food particles entrapped within dental crevices. These enzymes also breaking the particles into the food which are entrapped in the dental crevices in between two teeth and thus protecting teeth from the bacterial decay. So saliva have also antibacterial action and therefore saliva protect the body from the bacterial decay. So saliva also performs a lubricating function, wetting food and permitting the initiation of a swallowing, and therefore the mucus is present, food swallowing becomes easy. And in esophagus only the passage of food is there. Next, the mouth and esophagus. Saliva contains inorganic components like sodium, potassium, calcium, chlorine, chlorides, then sulfates, phosphates and hydrocarbons. In spite of that, they also have thiocyanates. So these are the chemical elements which take part in the digestion. So these are the salivary contents, we can say. Its organic matter also shows mucin, globulin, albumin, urea, uric acid, etc. Means also have some chemical elements, some organic elements and hormones. So next is that it also contains parotene hormone. It also contains parotene hormone. Saliva moistens, means it makes wet, it makes loose, moisten the crushed food while the teeth chew it up and make it easier to swallow, known as mastication. This whole process is known as mastication. After mastication, the amylase or ptyalin acts on the food, which is the digestive enzyme which are present in saliva, and starts to break down starch into simple sugar like maltose. Means starch plus amylase together digest the food material and forms the maltose. आणि म्हणून बऱ्याचदा आपण जेवताना 32 वेळा जर का चावून खाल्लं तर अन्नातला स्टार्च आणि लाळेतला अमायलेज एकत्र येऊन तोंडातल्या तोंडात माल्टोज शुगर तयार होते आणि म्हणून 32 वेळा चावलेला घास गोड लागतो. दिस इज द फॅक्ट. This activity takes place in mouth called as buccal digestion, and digestion actually starts here in mouth. After passing through the throat, the food moves into the esophagus and is pushed down into the stomach by the process of peristalsis. What is meant by peristalsis? That we will see in the next tube. Peristalsis means the involuntary wave-like muscle contractions along the gastrointestinal tract is called as peristalsis generally. At the end of the esophagus, there is a sphincter or valve that allows the food into the stomach and then closes back up so that the food cannot travel back into the esophagus. Means in short, the sphincter prevents the backflow of blood into the esophagus. Once the food comes in the stomach, the second action of gastric digestion starts. At last, we will see the functions of saliva. Saliva lubricates the food, so it becomes easy to convert the macromolecules into the micromolecules. Saliva also protects the oral cavity from erosion. Then excretory functions of saliva: it excretes inorganic ions like potassium, calcium, and some drugs. They are released in saliva. The saliva as a cleansing agent. It cleans the mouth, it cleans the bacteria, it works as antibacterial. And likewise, it also worms, germs, and it also kills the other materials. Saliva in speech keeps mouth moist. Then saliva also helps in perception of taste. Whatever the taste is being given by our tongue only due to the saliva which mixes with the food and enters in the taste bud of the tongue. It also works as antibacterial agent, example lysozyme that kills the bacteria in the mouth, or it kills the bacteria with the food which are in the crevices or cracks or in between two teeth. It also helps to balance water. It also helps to balance water balance in the body. Means water percentage in the body is balanced by the saliva, and therefore it also helps to balance the. It contains an enzyme ptyalin, or we can call it as salivary amylase. They help in digestion of food material in the mouth. Means primary digestion of food acts on the starch, which converts the starch into the maltose sugar. So this action is being taken place there too. So this is about today's 7th lecture. We will see the next lecture in the next period. Till then, see you.